If you've ever thought about protecting your work by registering a copyright, or you've wondered about licensing something, or what rights do I have as a copyright owner, that is amazing. The fact that you're even thinking about it and researching it is a huge first step. In this video, I want to take some of the confusion out of copyright protection and break it down. And we're going to do it all while I carve a block and make a relief print of a logo I came up with for Legal Guides for Creatives. But who am I anyway? My name is Tiffany, hi, and I am an intellectual property and business attorney who works with small businesses and creative businesses to help take the overwhelm out of the business and legal sides of running your business. In this video, we'll discuss what is a copyright, when and how do you become a copyright owner, what rights do you have as a copyright owner, how long copyright protection lasts, what's the deal with the copyright notice, and what's the deal with the copyright registration, and do you have to do it? And finally, a short discussion on damages, which is basically how much you can recover if your copyright is infringed upon. But before we begin, a quick disclaimer. I am an attorney, but I am not your attorney. So the things I talk about in this video should not be construed as legal advice, and I always recommend consulting with an attorney who is licensed in your state. As a business owner, especially as a creative business owner, you're constantly dealing with the intellectual property of other people. Whether you're putting someone's photo on your blog or using someone's song in your YouTube video, you need to make sure you're not infringing on someone's rights. And if you're putting your own work out into the world, you want to be able to protect those assets, because that's what they are. Those are your assets. This is where copyright law comes in. What is a copyright? In the US, copyright law is rooted in the US Constitution. It's a type of intellectual property that protects original works of authorship as soon as an author fixes the work in a tangible form of expression. So notice there are three elements in order for a work to be protected under copyright law. It has to be original, creative, and fixed. So what does that mean? To be original, it means it just has to have been created instead of copied. I drew this logo and didn't copy it from anywhere, so it's original. To be creative means that there is some creativity involved. How much? Not much, actually. The Supreme Court has said that to be creative, a work must have a spark and modicum of creativity. And last, it has to be fixed. This means it has to be written or painted or recorded just in a sufficiently permanent medium. So that amazing song that's in your head, it's not entitled to copyright protection until you write it down or record it or something like that. This logo was fixed once it was drawn. Wait a minute, go back. Did you catch that? It said, as soon as the author fixes the work. Yep, the moment these three elements are met, you are the proud owner of a copyright. The good news is this isn't patent law where you need to register your work in order to get those protections. It's your copyright whether you register it or not. But there are some very important reasons why you do want to register your copyright, and we'll talk about that a little later in this video. Well, what rights do I have as a copyright owner? If you didn't already know it, you were probably pretty excited to find out that, as a creative, you probably own some copyrights already. Okay, but now what? Copyright law grants you exclusive rights to the use and distribution of your copyrighted work. These protections are called a bundle of rights, but I want you to picture it as a bundle of sticks. These are your rights as a copyright owner. You have the right to reproduce the work, prepare derivative works, distribute the work, and perform the work publicly. Imagine you're holding a bundle of sticks, and imagine each one of those sticks is a right that you hold as a copyright owner. One of the major benefits of being a copyright holder is that you can transfer or assign those rights to other people. If you transfer one of those rights, or give one of those sticks to someone, you don't lose your copyright, and you still hold all those other sticks, and you're free to transfer those too. I own the copyright in this logo I designed, so I have the right to sell copies of it, I have the right to display it, and all those other rights. But what if someone says, I want to put your design on t-shirts and sell them? I can transfer that right to them. I still have my copyright, and if someone else asks if they can display the design on the wall of their retail store, I can license them that right too. How long does my copyright protection last? The length of time has gone through many changes over the years. Under the current law, works created on or after January 1st, 1978 have a copyright term of the life of the author plus 70 years after the author's death. If the work is a joint work or created by more than one person, the term lasts for 70 years after the surviving author's death. Works created before 1978 have a different time frame. What's the deal with the copyright symbol and registering your work? In order to truly understand copyright protection, you have to think about it like there are varying levels of copyright protection. We discussed how once you meet these three elements above, you own a copyright in your work and you are protected. Well, this gives you the basic amount of protection, so we'll call this level 1 protection. For level 2 protection, we need to understand the use of the copyright symbol. Do you have to use it? No. Then why do other people use it, and why should you? I'm sure you've seen it before, but let's begin with the copyright symbol itself. It's made up of 3 parts: the C in a circle symbol, or the word copyright, or both, the year of first publication, and the name of the copyright owner. Like I said, you do not need this notice to be protected, but there are some benefits to including it. For one, it puts others on notice that this work is protected, and hopefully discourages the infringement from happening in the first place. Second, if you sue someone for copyright infringement, which can be a very expensive process, you're going to want to recover the most damages possible, right? And to do that, you have to prove the infringement was willful. The only way to do this is to prove the infringer knew the work was protected and infringed upon it anyway. And you guessed it, the only way to prove this is by having a copyright notice displayed on your work. Just a heads up, you don't need to register your work to be able to use the copyright symbol. You own that copyright, so you can use the symbol. So where does copyright registration come in? Well, that's how we reach level 3 platinum 5-star protection. In order to bring an infringement suit in the US, you have to have registered your copyright with the Copyright Office in Washington, D.C. in a timely fashion or before the infringement occurred. So can you wait until an infringement occurs and then file? I'd say no. Think about it. If someone is infringing on your work, you're going to want to shut it down as quickly as possible. If you're not already registered, that means you have to expedite your registration, which costs more money. But more importantly, if you timely register, which means before the infringement occurs or within 3 months of publication of the work, you get the right to receive statutory damages, and possibly even attorney's fees and court costs if you are successful in your infringement suit. Basically, this just means you have the potential of recovering more money. So that's it for today. I hope that this video helps give you a better understanding of what copyright is and how it protects you. If you have a topic you would like me to discuss in a future video, please leave it down in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing.